Hey everyone, it's Jessica. I'm back with another layout for the ThermOWeb design team. Today I am making this beautiful flamingo layout for one of my pictures from one of our visits to the zoo. So I'm going to show you how I'm using my Easy Cut adhesive today. What I've done is I have already cut out everything on my cutting machine. I have an electronic cutting machine, so I've already adhered my Easy Cut adhesive to a sheet of white cardstock, and I did that just by peeling off one of the backing sheets and placing it right on my cardstock, and then I cut my pieces out on my electronic cutting machine. And then here I have pulled them off of my cutting mat, and you can see I pulled out some white flock here. I have peeled off the rest of the backing, and then I've just put that adhesive side down right on top of that flocking sheet on the fuzzy side. And then I'm going to give this a run through my hot laminating machine just to make sure everything is nice and adhered and transfers well on that flock design. So I'm using a couple different colors here for the flock. So I'm using black for the legs and the eyelashes, and a little piece of the beak there, and I think a little piece of the hat too is on there. And I'm just trimming it down so I'm only running through exactly what I need, so I'm not wasting any of it. And then I'm just sandwiching this through my craft and carrier sheet. Everything has come out of my hot laminator. I've used white, black, and pink. My white is actually doing double duty for my darker shade of pink, which I'm going to apply some Distress Oxides with blending brushes here to actually make it the color that I want. I love having the white flock in stock. That way I can make any color of ink that I have, and it really coordinates well with all of my layouts. And the white flock is actually doing double duty as well for the hat. So I didn't have anything that color in the flock. I was going to use the Tuscan Gold would have been a good one, but it was a little bit darker than what I wanted for this nice summery layout. So I decided to use some Tattered Rose Distress Oxide for that. And then the pinks, I used a blend of Kitsch Flamingo and Picked Raspberry. So I really love how that pink, the dark pink came out. It's a little bit darker towards the outside of the feathers, and then I left the middle open because I'm just going to apply the wing here anyways, so I left that there. And I do have to use adhesive for my layers because I use the Easy Cut adhesive to transfer the flock and transfer it onto the cardstock. So I still need to stick all those layers together. So I've pulled out my Ultra Bond liquid adhesive to adhere the wing down to the flamingo. And then I'm just using some more of that to apply the body to my full sheet of cardstock there. I did cut it once in just a full sheet of cardstock for the full piece. That way I could attach all of my individual pieces to that. So I had something to anchor everything to. And then I'm just using that liquid glue just to adhere all of those little pieces on. I'm going to make my little hat here to finish that off. This is my little black stripe. And I got this cut file online through Etsy. I can link that cut file below for you guys if you would like to grab it. And I actually thought this hat would look really cute with a little flower on it. So I think I'm going to add a little flower just to her hat so she looks a little bit more feminine. She just looks like a little tourist, and I just love it. And then here's my papers I picked out for this. I have my photo here. I've already matted it with some smooth white cardstock. I picked out a few 49 and Market papers that I thought would go well with this little flamingo. I really like that circle design. I instantly discarded the other pink ones. I was going to go with this, but then I really liked how the black in this one really popped that flamingo and made it stand out. So I'm going to use this black one. And then I found this little title piece that is also by 49 and Market. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to actually make my title say Flamingo Favorite because this was my absolute favorite thing in the park that day. We went during Asian Lantern Fest to the Pittsburgh Zoo, and they have all these Asian lanterns set up of all different kinds of animals and just really cool things. So this was my favorite one from the day that had these cute flamingos, and that one is just giant. It's bigger and taller than we are, so it was really cool. So I decided to take a picture by that, and I want to put Flamingo Favorite as my photo. So I'm going to pull in some other letters here in a minute. I did some fussy cutting here by pulling out my OLFA mat and my X-Acto knife by them. I really like them. I can link those below for you too if you want to grab them. But I did that off camera because it does take me a while to fussy cut all of these little flowers, and those are all from the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Sunkissed collection, which I'm still using. I still have little bits and pieces of that collection left, so I'm really trying to use them up. I promise I'm trying, but I still have little bits and pieces that are in my stash. So I'm kind of making that a goal for myself this summer to use up a lot of the stash that I have instead of buying more, other than all my adhesives and things from ThermOWeb that I need all the time. So I'm not buying more things to add to my stash, but just kind of stocking up on adhesives and essentials. So I did just order some cardstock, so I'm good to go on that, on plain cardstock. And I'm good to go on everything else, I think, for now. So now it's just time to use some things up. So here's my title. I'm going to add these Bella Boulevard letters. These are the Bella Florence letters. I'm just going to add these on so that that'll say Flamingo favorite, because it's, again, my favorite photo from the trip, and I just loved it. And then I'm gonna pull in some stickers and some just miscellaneous things. I'm not gonna add a whole lot to this layout because it's pretty good the way that it is. I just wanna enhance it a little bit. So I found this little destination sticker by Elle's Studio that I got recently from my last order that I placed before I decided to put myself on a freeze. And I'm just gonna write Pittsburgh Zoo on that little tag, and then I'm gonna pop that down on my layout somewhere. And these little hearts are from that same 49 and Market collection that I got the title piece from. So I'm gonna use those little pink hearts on this layout as well, just kind of scatter them around. I had to play with this. I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted it to go. It looked cute up by my title, but kind of looked like it was just popping out of nowhere. So I decided to put it over here and kind of build on that side of the layout and add some interest over there. And then I'm just gonna add a few of these little hearts. They aren't sticky on the back, which I thought for sure they used to be, but maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. I thought their chipboards were sticky, so there I was trying to peel off the backing, and here I was just peeling the chipboard apart because they're not sticky. So I did have to use a little bit of my adhesive on that to stick those down. And as you can see, I'm alternating today between using my tape gun. I have the Memory XL tape gun, which I absolutely love, and it's pink, so that's a big bonus too, and it goes right with this layout, right? And then I am using my liquid Ultra Bond glue, which dries clear, and then I've used some Easy Tear tape for my photo and sticking that down. And I kind of like to use that on the bigger areas, and I like to use the 1/2 inch size myself. And the other adhesive that I use as well is obviously that Easy Cut adhesive that I used on my cut file. So I'm just pulling out that flower, kind of looking through what I have left in this collection. I still have quite a bit of these little die cuts that I need to use up, but I really like the little pink flower that I had left in there. I'm going to cut it in half and just use half of it because I'm tucking it in behind that flamingo anyways. So I'm going to pop it down right there just to finish that little embellishment cluster off. I kind of ended up building out my layout. I built those flowers the whole way around my flamingo, but I just love it because it kind of looks like it's popping out of the jungle, so I think it fits in well. And then I'm just finishing off these little bits and pieces with my Ultra Bond glue. I pulled out this stamp set by Elle's Studio. This is the Thankful stamp set and that Kitsch Flamingo color that I was using earlier, and I'm just going to add a few of these little plus signs just for some extra something on this layout. And then that little road trip thing, I didn't really like it over there by itself, so I ended up moving it on the left there and adding a couple more hearts just to put that little road trip car by my destination tag. And there's my little flower. I found that chipboard in my stash, deep in my stash, and it's so tiny. And then I'm gonna finish this off by just punching out some photo corners with this, I think it's by We Are Memory Keepers punch. And you have to push kind of hard whenever, or squeeze kind of hard on that punch so that it embosses it as well. So you have the fold lines. It makes it a lot easier to fold those. But some of mine I didn't press hard enough, so I had to use my bone folder on. And then I'm just going to use more of this liquid glue to adhere these down to my actual layouts. So it dries actually pretty quick. So once you put that on, it does dry clear and it dries pretty fast. So it's one of my favorite adhesives to use for stuff like this. And I like to use it on cut files too. It's really nice for that. So I'm just finishing up those photo corners, and then here is the finished layout here in a second that you'll see. I think that's the last one. I'll link everything down below for you guys too, in case you want to grab anything from the shop. I'll put all the links in there for you. So here's the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process video and learned a thing or two, and I hope I have inspired you to create something beautiful today. So thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.